What if I told you that the deepest secrets of the universe, gravity, the quantum world, the Big Bang, all of it, what if they weren't hidden in some exotic far-off particle, but in the empty space that's literally all around us? Look, let's be clear, modern physics is amazing. Our two pillars, general relativity and quantum mechanics, they've given us everything from GPS to the computer you're watching this on. But here's the dirty secret. At their very core, they're completely incompatible. They don't just disagree, they don't even speak the same language. And that leaves these huge gaping cracks in our understanding of how the universe actually works. Well, this explainer is all about a radical new idea that challenges pretty much everything we thought we knew about empty space. It suggests that the vacuum isn't empty at all. In fact, it's the active, dynamic source of, well, everything. All forces, all particles, maybe even space-time itself. But before we can dive into this new solution, we've got to set the stage. Let's quickly go over the fundamental problems it's trying to solve. These are the big ones, the questions that keep physicists staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. First step, you've got this mysterious dark matter that seems to be holding entire galaxies together, but we can't see it. Then there's an even more mysterious dark energy that's literally pushing the universe apart. We still have absolutely no idea how to make gravity play nice with the quantum forces. And our theories tell us that at the center of a black hole is a singularity, a point of infinite density, which is basically physics just throwing up its hands and saying, I give up. Oh, and on top of all that, we can't explain why we even exist, why matter won out over antimatter right at the start of the universe. Okay, so this is where a really bold new framework comes into play. It's called dynamic vacuum field theory, or DBFT for short, and it all starts with one wild idea. The vacuum of space isn't just an empty stage for the action to happen on. No, it is the action. It's the stage, the actors, the whole show, and it's buzzing with energy and structure. So the core concept of DVFT is that there's really only one fundamental thing in the entire universe, this vacuum field. And everything we see, everything we experience, the gravity holding you down, the light from your screen, it's all just a different kind of ripple or distortion in this one single medium. And you're going to love this. This whole grand universe-spanning idea, it boils down to this one surprisingly simple and elegant equation. It tells us that this vacuum field, phi, really has two main parts, an amplitude, which we call rho, and a phase, which we call theta. That's it. All right, let's break that down, because that's the whole ballgame. Think of the vacuum like a giant invisible cosmic gel filling all of space. The amplitude, rho, is like the thickness or the density of that gel. And this theory says that when that thickness changes from place to place, we feel that change as gravity. Now the phase, theta, that's like a constant rhythmic vibration pulsing through the gel everywhere. And when that vibration changes from place to place, well, that's what we call electromagnetism. Just like that, two of the four fundamental forces popping out of one single field. Okay, so that's a really neat concept, right? But the big question is, does it actually solve any of those huge problems we talked about? Well, let's zoom out to the cosmic scale and see what this thing can do. Now, this right here, this is one of the theory's most powerful pieces of evidence, a potential smoking gun. That top chart shows the pattern that DVFT predicts we should see in the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang. And the bottom two panels, that's the real, actual data from the Planck satellite. Just look at that. The alignment is absolutely remarkable. And when you build on this vacuum model, DVFT starts making some seriously huge claims. It says that the strange way galaxies rotate isn't because of dark matter. It's just the vacuum itself behaving differently across huge distances. It says that dark energy isn't some mysterious add-on. It's just the vacuum's own built-in energy. It even claims to explain those so-called impossibly mature galaxies the Webb telescope found. And it gets rid of the whole Big Bang singularity problem by replacing it with a much smoother vacuum phase transition. But hey, any real theory of everything has to explain the super, super small just as well as it explains the mind-bogglingly large. So now let's dive into the bizarre world of quantum mechanics and see how DVFT holds up. And the results here are just as wild. Take the Yang-Mills mass gap. That's a huge unsolved Millennium Prize problem about why quantum particles have mass in the first place. DVFT claims to solve it by tying mass directly to the vacuum's own stiffness. Or how about the weird puzzle with the neutron's lifetime? The theory suggests it's because the local density of the vacuum is different depending on where you do the experiment.
All these things that need really complex fixes in the standard model are claimed to just be natural outcomes of the vacuum's basic geometry.
So, okay, let's step back for a second. We've seen how this one single idea could potentially solve massive problems on the cosmic scale and on the quantum scale. And that brings us to the theory's ultimate, most ambitious claim, finally unifying all four fundamental forces of nature. It all comes back to that one vacuum field. You've got gravity, which is just a change in the field's density. You've got electromagnetism, which is a simple ripple in its internal clock, its phase. And what about the two nuclear forces, the weak and the strong? Well, the theory proposes that they're just more complicated knots and twists in that very same phase. Four forces, one field. The whole shebang.
And I think this quote from the source material really just nails the whole spirit of the thing. Instead of just relying on abstract math that happens to work, DVFT is trying to ground our understanding of physics in the real, tangible behavior of a physical thing, the vacuum itself. It's trying to explain why the rules are the way they are.
So where does that leave us? Is this it? The revolutionary theory of everything that finally puts all the pieces of the puzzle together? Or is it just another beautiful, fascinating idea that ends up being a dead end? Honestly, the claims are gigantic, and the theory is still super new. In the end, only more data, more experiments, and a whole lot of scrutiny from other physicists will decide its fate. But it leaves us with one heck of a question to think about. What if the answer to everything is hiding inside of nothing at all?